I've got plenty of water. I think I'm at 800 gallons on hand, plus the purification system and tablets. I got that, check. Green beans, gotta have some nutritious foods. Turkey tetrazzini, nice, and some oranges. Beef stroganoff. He said beef stroganoff. That's awesome. You guys, I'm just working on some of my virus preps here. Definitely gonna need TP. Oh yeah, praise the Lord and pass the super bill. Thank you very much. And of course, all right, anybody tries to touch me or my stuff, and I'll probably share it with them. Yeah. All right, I got some messages yesterday. We did the hand washing video. I got messages. Hey man, are you planning for these viruses? Of course I am. I plan for everything. It's what I do. It's called being an adult, right? I don't go to the beach without sunscreen. I don't go on vacation without my camera and traveler's checks. Nobody even has those anymore. I went and I sat down today and I thought, you know what? How can I pass on some information on this that might be good? And this is what I came up with. First and foremost, I want you to think about this. You, right now, you're an American, right? Inside of you, some people disagree with this, but I sure do. And even if you don't or never have thought about this, think about it now. Your bloodline. As an American, the cool thing about being an American is you don't need to be born here. Once you come here and you're an American, it's like Star Wars shit, man. It becomes part of you. Your bloodline, your DNA came from a people that came from around the globe and lifted themselves up out of this frontier to become the greatest experiment in self-governing liberty that has ever seen the face of the earth. Our country has done more to help the world than many countries combined. If you don't believe that, you know nothing of history. If you want to leave some rude comment here, do so I can have something to delete while I sip beers later. That is in your veins, man. We are not a people that make decisions based on fear. We are planners. We are pioneers. We sent man to the moon, right? We pioneered flight. We pioneered the telecommunications businesses. We pioneered much of medicine. We pioneer. We send people where others do not want to go. Our men go and fight on foreign soil so that others can be free and live. That's what's in your veins. That's what's in you. We give more in aid to the world than most all of the other major countries combined, sometimes many times over. That's you and me that do that. That is your DNA. That's what's in you. So think about that first and foremost. I was at the store with my wife yesterday, and I noticed that the area of the hardware store that usually sells masks was completely cleaned out because people based on fear went and freaked out and bought a bunch of stuff. Now, medical professionals that actually need this stuff, that work in ERs, that work on ambulances, are having to ration because the companies that make the masks don't have enough to ship to everybody. So think about that. And as I saw that, I thought to myself, you know, scared people do scary things. I was at jiu-jitsu this morning and I was really tired. We were having a nice round robin at Paul's gym, SBG, Illinois. And dude I was wrestling with was really strong and he got my back. And I remember as he started sinking in, I thought to myself, I'm finished. And then I looked at Paul. Paul looked at me and Paul said, roll, man. And I rolled and I got away and I thought if Paul didn't intervene, I would have done for. It wasn't all that bad. But fear crept in, man. Not fear like I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna lose. This guy's got me. He's got my back, right? And he's choking me. We can't make decisions based on fear. So what do you prepare for? You prepare for whatever your goal is. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about reality versus fiction. So let's take a quick peek here. I made a little list. I got the marker board out. This is serious business, you guys. Serious business. Just how I start all of our classes. What's the goal? This thing's not going to want to stay here. What is the goal? If you can't define that, you can't really achieve any objective because you don't have an objective. The goal. My goal every day is come home safe and sound. My goal is get my family home safe and sound. My goal is continue proliferating a happy life, right? So what do me and mine need and for how long? These are important questions. So for you to continue to feed and clothe and take care of your family, what do you need and for how long? Well, that's where fantasy versus reality comes in. Fantasy versus reality. Hey, I don't appreciate you saying, you know, that maybe it's not real. Well, are we planning for some Red Dawn scenario or something real? Real quick, thank any truck driver that you ever meet, because without trucks, we wouldn't have what we need. Almost everything that comes to your house from the grocery store, from the big box store, comes on a truck. And if you go to your local grocery store, you'll notice that many times a day, trucks deliver things there. If that stops for even a few days, the shelves empty, and that is a concern. If you don't have stuff on hand, and your shelves at your grocery store empty out, it means it's going to take days to fill those shelves back up. So even if your stores are empty or low on things for a week or two, that's a week or two that you don't have rapid access to food. Think about even during the holidays. You can't find whipped cream, you can't find pumpkins, right? These kinds of things during big shopping times. This is just logical stuff, guys. It's Logistics 101 I wrote down here. So fantasy versus reality. What do I need? How much of it? What's a must-have and what's nice to have? You ever go to the airport, or rather you're packing for a trip? Before you go to the airport, if you're smart, you'll weigh your suitcase and you realize it's a few pounds over. So what do? You open it up. What don't I really need? Wife, I love you, but the 13 pairs of shoes, and we pare it down to 10, then we make weight, right? You take what you don't need out. What do you need? Food, water, shelter, safety, medical considerations, hygiene, communication, and then I got family and friends at the bottom. Food, think calorically rich, dense foods. So something like macaroni and cheese from one of the crappy companies, garbage food, no nutrients, low in calories. So you want things that have high nutrients, high calories. Why? Because that means I can store less of it, and when I eat, I'm getting things I need. Water, how much and for how long can you store it? How much water do you need every day? Make sure you've got enough. Do you have a way to purify or clean other water sources? Shelter. Your shelter, you probably already have a home or an apartment. Can you keep that home or apartment heated? Can you keep it cool if you live in a hot place? Can you keep it secure, right? That's where safety comes in. Safety's not just that gun. Safety's not just that gun. Can I keep my home heated and cooled in severe climates? If it's still winter here, it's below freezing right now. If I shut my heat off or I lose electricity and my furnaces don't fire up, that becomes a problem within about 6 or 8 hours when it's 25 degrees out. Can you take care of that? What are your medical considerations? Do you have somebody in your home that needs a prescription drug? Do you have that stuff on hand? Do you have hygiene products? We talked yesterday about hand washing. In 1857, I believe, there was an Austrian doctor that realized, man, we're losing a lot of people because what he figured out, doctors were going from the autopsy room to the birthing room, and he said, I think that there's bits of dead people on you and on your utensils that's getting on those moms and babies and making them sick and killing them. And some of the doctors were like, really? And so he came up with some cleaning agents to clean hands and tools. Next thing you know, people weren't getting as sick. And eventually, though, they kind of went back to their old ways. Dude ended up in a mental hospital where they think he was beaten. And get this, one of his wounds became infected and he died of gangrene. Irony. Hygiene. If you can't keep stuff clean, good old-fashioned bleach is really nice, especially if we're concerned about viruses. Communication. Do you have a way to communicate to people that is reliable if other systems fail? Family and friends. One of the best things you can do in a catastrophic situation is have relationships with those around you. More eyes for safety, more hands, more resources, more ideas, all good stuff. Know those are the people, know who is around you. So my thought is 30 days. You should have enough food, water, medical supplies, hygiene supplies, things of that nature to take care of you and yours for 30 days. Just a month. And if you want longer, go longer. But again, this depends. Are you out in the middle of nowhere on the plains of South Dakota where you're miles from anybody and anything? Chances are if you're out there, you already live like this. Or do you live in Manhattan, downtown Chicago, Orlando, Florida, etc.? Have what you need. Have a plan. Understand that if things go that way, if the world does get sick with a virus, about the best thing you can do is stay home. If the people that are sick, if you have the flu or anything else, stay home. What happens? The bug dies. Because the sick people get better, right? And unsick people don't get sick because the sick people went out into the world. So if you're home for a few weeks, do you have the stuff on hand to take care of yourself? And when you know you have this stuff, fear goes away. Make your decisions based on planning, on faith in yourself, on faith in your community, on faith in your creator, and you'll be good to go, guys. Don't let fear mongers on the internet fill you up with the bullshit. You're an American. We rose up out of nothingness to create the greatest nation in the world. We pioneered most of the sciences. We pioneered so much of what this world has, and we continue to. Think about what you're doing, and if you have to, get that beef stroganoff. It's actually pretty good, and you get to say stroganoff. You know what I'm saying? Peace.
Hey, Scott Puckett here, Sawmill Tactical Training Center. I'm the Director of Operations. We're in Lawrence, South Carolina. Check us out on the web at sawmillttc.com and Instagram at thesawmillttc.
They just Google it, they'll probably find you too?
Yeah, pretty easy to find. Yeah,
sweet. What do you got there?
So, I have a beautiful
Beretta 1301 from Langdon, and then we're shooting the MITS target system. Let's light these up.
Ready?
Stand by. Do the splits. No?